Back in there, you little weenies. Hello, Internet. This is Olin from What I'm Listening To, here, once again, with another episode of Quickies. The first CD I have for you today, I have Tears for Fears' very first album, The Hurting. This is the remastered version of the album, which I've actually not listened to. The only reason I really know about it is for the song Mad World, which became popularized by Donnie Darko, specifically the song covered by Gary Jules. And because I also just recently bought and talked about in another video their critically acclaimed album, Songs from the Big Chair, I decided, let's check this one out. I liked the remastered version of that, and I'm curious how this one's going to sound. And I'm also curious because, like the remastering of Big Chair, this version has some bonus tracks on it in the form of extended versions, remixes, and I like that there's extended and long version. But Mad World has a world remix, which I'm not sure what it's going to sound like, but curious nonetheless, and curious to hear the rest of the CD, so looking forward to that. Next up, I have a Thundercat CD. This is his most recent album. It Is What It Is. I really like Thundercat. I think he is just a fantastic producer, musician, bass player, and just a really funny dude. And I've been following his work for a bit now. His album Drunk is really, really good. But also the work he's done with Flying Lotus and even playing with the Suicidal Tendencies of all bands is just so crazy to me. But this album, in comparison, is, I think, a little more on the mellow side. Still very funky, still very electronic-y, but a really chill album overall. I really have liked what I've heard, and I found this used copy, so I wanted to give it a closer listen onto some headphones. And yeah, if you're a fan of funk, psychedelic, electronica music, then you got to check this guy out. He's so very good. Next up, I have a bit of a classic. I have of Monsters and Men's album, My Head is an Animal. Kind of forgot that these guys existed, but as soon as I saw this album, I just had to give it a re-listen. It's been years since I've heard anything by them. And I just am reminded that there was that weird era in time where folk music was just such a big deal. Like these guys, Mumford and Sons, the Lumineers, all those bands came out, were just doing this kind of folky sound, and everybody loved it. But yeah, I honestly, despite their music being pretty overplayed, I've always really liked this band. Little Paws, classic song. Dirty Paws is what it's called, and then Little Talks is what I'm thinking of. Those two tracks are really good. I've never actually flipped through a physical copy of this album. When I discovered it, I was mostly buying stuff digitally on iTunes. I hadn't really been collecting too many CDs, but this one I can tell has been used. It's a little beat up, but still very cool nonetheless. I'm really looking forward to re-listening to this, and hopefully I still enjoy it as much as I did when I first heard it. We'll see. Next up, I have a Nine Inch Nails album. This is their album, The Slip. I'm a big Nine Inch Nails fan. I love their stuff. I have a decent amount of their albums in my collection, but Trent is just such a busy guy, doing so many projects, even beyond Nine Inch Nails. Nowadays, he's doing movie scores with Atticus Ross, who's in Nine Inch Nails now. But anyways, within the Nine Inch Nails discography, he's done tons of just miscellaneous EP, singles, albums, so much that I have not actually listened to. I think I've listened to the core good albums in his discography, but there are still a few that I have not heard, and this is one of them. We've actually just got in a lot of Nine Inch Nails at the store, which is really exciting because we were having a hard time keeping much of their stuff in stock. We usually had a couple copies of like Year Zero, some EPs that were just like remixes, but not many of the other studio albums. So when I saw this, I grabbed it immediately because I really wanted to listen to it. I know it's a bit heavier than With Teeth. I think this album came after With Teeth. It's either after With Teeth or after Ghosts, which is the ambient album, but With Teeth is probably one of my, if not my all-time favorite Nine Inch Nails album. And yeah, we'll see. I'm really interested in hearing how this one sounds. And curious what's on this DVD here. We have one disc that's just the album, and then this is the video. Let's see if it says anything on the back here. It doesn't. Okay. Well, I guess I'll have to pop that into a DVD player and see what contents live on that. The last CD I have for you today is a classic. This is Lou Reed and Metallica's infamous collaboration, Lulu. So I'm in the process of working on a video regarding notoriously bad albums, and I wanted to give this one a listen just because I know it's just one of those albums that everybody who has talked about it says it sucks, and I just have to hear it for myself. I do not know what to expect. Maybe I'll feature it in the video. Maybe I won't. I haven't decided yet. I'm still writing it, but just because of how bad it apparently is, I can't help but to be excited. It could be a really rough ride to listen to, what was it, 10 tracks on 2 CDs, so some of these tracks might be really long, but still, I'm giddy with just what could this possibly sound like. There's something about bad music that I'm interested in. Bad music, that is, that like everybody collectively says it's bad. We focus so much on albums that are considered amazing, influential, the best of the best. And the rest of the albums are typically ignored, even some bad ones. People just say it's bad and write it off. But this has just achieved a level where it's just so bad, it's famous for it. And I think that's a really cool phenomenon. So we'll see how this one goes. I might I might regret it, but we'll see. I'm so excited to dive into this one head first. Alrighty then, Internet, that concludes this episode. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll catch you all next week.